We are back and we are live on camera.
Eventually.
We will have to apologise for the delay in this live stream, mainly due to technical reasons, and that will be due to a battery problem. So these are the things you go through when you make content for YouTube. So, so I say hello, I'm Bragi, good dog, as you know, and here's my very good friend.
I'm Egil Thorsson. Hi everybody. And sorry we kept you waiting.
Yes, now if the stream does disappear, it means the battery's died again. So we have managed to get online, and we'll see how long this goes for, and hopefully people will start getting the notification and start being able to watch it, because at the moment we've got nobody watching.
Well, so, even if this does cut off early, I'm sure we can do another one at another date soon.
Yeah, we've still got to figure out trying to live stream over the weekend on a regular basis, which I know will have a massive effect on the channel in a very positive way. To try to get a bit more comfy on the old war chest. Yeah, it's a bit hard, isn't it, this war chest? You've got a bigger cushion than me as well.
Yeah, well, I'm an old man, you know.
Because we can always stand up and live stream if you get bored of sitting down. It's no biggie.
It's been a long day. We've been on the go since 2, haven't we?
Oh, it has been a long day. It's been a very successful day. I mean, I think we've so far, this is 8-9 weeks we've been filming, maybe 10.
Yeah.
We've not had a bad filming day yet, so that's great.
There's still nobody watching.
Still nobody watching. They've not been notified yet. It's probably because we've had to reschedule it, and therefore you just have to bear in mind and keep waiting. Eventually, somebody will watch.
I suppose. What time is it in America? It's about 5 o'clock, is it?
Well, it depends where you are. If you're on the East Coast, it will be 5 hours behind.
Yeah. So
it's going to be about 2:30. So some people will be at work.
That's what I was thinking.
If you're going to California, it's 8 hours. I'm not sure about Hawaii. What time difference that is?
I think they've got other things on their minds at the moment than us, i.e. volcanic eruptions.
Now it does make you think. How would somebody, average dark age man or woman, how would they react to a volcano? I mean, what would they think of one?
If it was me, I'd give a high-pitched scream.
Yeah.
Grab everything I could, including if I had one a wife, and I'd head for those things called hills, or get in a long ship and scoot off. The further distance between me and a volcano would be very advantageous.
What would the high-pitched scream be like? Ah, there you go. That doesn't half sound like half of the Lenny Henry parrot, that does. They're not doing that impression right now.
No, I can't do Lenny Henry.
No, I can do his parrot and that's it.
I like it when he does his wife saying, "Okay, pack your bags, damn sunshine."
Yeah, it's very funny, Lenny Henry. But that's going off subject because he's not the Viking. He'll be a good one because he's big.
I don't know.
He's a big chap. Somebody watching now, so hello, thank you for watching. We do apologise for this enormous delay in going live. That was mainly due to a battery problem we had. So hello, good dag.
Hi.
Please leave us a comment. Let us know who you are. So far, you're just anonymous. It could be anybody we know. Myself from Richmond.
Hey, is that...
No, this is Stuart Smith. Hello, Stuart Smith.
Hi, Stuart. Nice to hear from you.
If you're not subbed to the channel, then please do so.
Yeah.
We're just a pair of Vikings or Saxons. We can be both. I like to think of myself as a Saxon on the verge of becoming a Viking.
Or Vixen.
Yeah.
or that'll be a Saxing.
Now today we've been filming for the channel and we made some more historical video as well as a combat video. And that was a video of the langseax versus this grandsax. Yeah. Here's a langseax. It's the one I used. I like this langseax. I've had it a long time.
This is a shorter one.
It's one I was lent by a friend of mine. So, yes, if you have any questions for us to answer or any comments, I should be able to read them through the mobile.
Let's hope we don't get cut off by...
Yeah, we do have a battery issue. So if we do suddenly disappear, you know why? The battery died. But I do have a power back, and I'll tell you what, I need to connect that up. You hold that a minute.
Okay, I don't know what he's doing, but...
I've got to connect the cable.
So while he's gone, let's talk about him.
I'm still here, I can hear you.
If you have a question, please let us see.
There we go.
And will probably be able to answer it.
Oh,
or
yeah.
At least research it.
Well, you should be answering it. You're an archaeologist.
Well, I was an archaeologist historian. Actually, my degree is in archaeology and history.
Well, how do you become a folklorist? Because I guess we are becoming one by telling folk tales.
Like we're doing. Hello, we've got something coming up.
Ah, so what's your favourite piece of lore from the sagas?
Ah, favourite bit of lore now.
That's in folklore, lore from the
Oh, folklore.
yeah, from the sagas. Not as in lore.
Oh, I
I'm
thought.
talking about the Physians here and the
Oh, right.
wise men who made laws.
My favourite saga would have to be Egil's saga. Obviously, I'll take my name from it.
Yeah, it's one of the good ones. That.
Because it's also based in truth. Now, I don't know if you're from England or not.
No,
or,
they're from America, Virginia.
All right. Well, if you're from Virginia and you come to America, if you go to York and go down the shambles, you're actually walking over the remains of King Eric Bloodaxe's palace, where Egil Skallagrimson was held prisoner.
Oh yes.
I often would love to go to Virginia. It sounds a nice place.
It is a very lovely place. I've been there.
I've never been to America. I've only ever been to Italy and Ireland. That's all I've
Well, when we
ever
do a
been to.
world tour one day, and we'll visit some of these countries, and many years from now, when you got a longer beard, and I may have a beard by then, because I'll be old enough to have one.
No.
I don't feel old enough to have a beard.
No.
No, I think there's some fantastic sagas out there. The Icelandic sagas are the ones that always spring to mind for me. But also the Orkney sagas are also a brilliant one, and something I've been reading recently.
Well, also the Vinlander saga.
Oh yeah, that's another brilliant saga.
You see, with Vinland, it's how you pronounce it. Vinland
yes.
means wine. Vinland means wide open space.
I would have thought wide open space would be more.
Yeah, because grapes grew further south.
Yeah, but then again, the speculation that they might have gone further down south anyway. So.
Well, there is stories in Mexican mythology of, was it blue-eyed, blonde-haired devils from the sea?
Yeah,
That
I've read
seems
that
to
before.
fit our examples.
Well, there's one or two more examples like that as well. And also you have all these singular European bodies that have been found out of context in America. So how do they get there?
Well, that's a Red Indian camp. They found a Viking coin as well.
Yeah.
So if you have any more questions you want to ask us.
Oh
please
yeah,
feel free.
we're pretty versed in many things in the Dark Ages. I mean, we have to be. We dress up like it most weeks.
Yeah. So as I say, just let us know. Thanks for tuning in. Anyway.
Yes, well, thank you. And please consider subscribing to the channel. We do have a few sagas told. I know it's in the title of the channel, and we do have to actually start telling a few more sagas. I generally find them a little bit more difficult to tell because of the fact that you've got the pronunciations, you've got to get all that right, and the sagas are actually very long stories to remember.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
But some of them I've told them over the years.
But we are going to cover them in series.
Yeah.
So we will eventually do a series on each saga, as well as talk about individual stories. I mean, a classic one on the channel is Egil meets Ljot, or I guess in this case it should have been Egil kills Ljot, but I changed the kill because I didn't think it was very friendly in the title.
Yeah.
So, and that was a brilliant telling of by Njal Sigmundsson.
All right, I've heard of him.
Oh yeah, we've both heard of him.
He's a good lad. If you're out there, Njal, hi.
Hello, Njal. I don't know if he watches our content.
I've no idea.
He's always busy working.
Well,
He's a man hard to get hold of.
busy man, as he used to say. But if you're out there, Njal.
Now this live stream is going to be talking about the Saxons and the rise of the Vikings. So do you want to talk about that, Egil?
Well, are we assuming the Saxons have settled England?
Well, yes, we've got to the
doing
point
well?
where it's the post-Roman era, when we're made a British era, and the Saxons are coming.
Thumbnail sketch. Basically, a lot of the Roman soldiers, especially on Hadrian's Wall, were Germanic in origin. And when the empire started, I won't say folding because the Roman Empire changed its name to become the Catholic Church. However, that's
another story.
Yeah. And so Saxony was being attacked by the Huns. So it's quite natural to bring your wife and children over, and Aunt Hilda and your mum and dad and all that. And they would come over and settle. And King Vortigern thought he'd carve himself a nice little empire.
As they do.
So he hired two mercenaries, Hengist and Horsa, and they brought 3 ships of chaps over and said, okay, we'll do what you want to do, but we want this stretch of land. And they did what they were asked, and King Vortigern reneged on it. So the 2 guys set to work levelling his kingdom.
Yeah, they wanted to create their own kingdom.
Yeah.
I think they realised that.
One of them was killed, I think it was Horse Hengist.
Hengist was killed.
Hengist was killed, and Horsa settled. And we find in Saxon graves people who'd come over from Germany or Germanic states, where even the women were buried with spears.
Yeah.
And that's a common thing. Also, I don't know, Time Team were excavating graves and kept finding buckets. Well, that's because in those buckets originally were apples. Because the goddess Iduna
Oh yes, of course.
supplied the gods with apples for immortality, and it's either in tribute or they thought these apples may well do that. However, everything was going along well, all the Saxons Saxoning like they should do, making lots and lots of money, and by gum, they made a lot. They were one of the richest, made England one of the richest countries in Europe. Meanwhile, over the North Sea, there were the Vikings in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Jutland,
Yeah.
were hitting problems. First of all, the inheritance laws. The land was at a premium, and when the father died, the eldest son got everything. And in a family where you may have 3 or 4 sons and daughters, that would cause a little bit of a ruction.
Oh, what did they?
Yeah, and the land itself wasn't that great.
No.
So, how do you settle it? You get in the longship, get across to this rich place called England, raid it. There's even guys running monasteries and nuns, make good slaves, and they're loaded with
Well, I guess they're obedient, are they?
Yeah, well, the worst thing they could do to you is go, Deus save me, God save me. So they did that. Also, they had ructions on the continent. Charlemagne was causing problems.
Oh yes.
He was hotly Christian, along with people like Olaf Tryggvason.
Oh yes, I read about him the other day.
Yeah, disgusting person.
Yeah.
And so they started to land, and also they saw, this England is a nice place.
Oh yeah.
You know, it stays light most of the day, because bear in mind in Norway, Sweden, on the Arctic Circle you get 24 hours darkness sometimes.
Well, you do, yes. I can't imagine that.
Crops are growing well, then the women aren't bad looking, and let's settle. They needed a base, so the Orkney Islands is one, and they would settle there and use it to raid from there. So, and the rest, as I say, is history. And we've got another question.
Yeah, let me try to get my mouse.
It's all this technology.
He doesn't know about technology. One thing I always found interesting is why did it take so long for the Vikings to find England and come to England?
Well, first of all, you have to have a decent boat. And
Well, that does help.
the longship was developed over quite a while.
Yeah, we've got new stuff. Thank you for subscribing to us.
Thank you. We could do a whole video on Viking longships and ships in general. You see the effect of the Vikings. If you ever go to the coast, you'll see the ship, the little boats. They're what they call clinker built. It's overlapping planks which are plugged in the Viking times with tar and
A lot of nails and rivets for that.
Yeah, but even the modern rowing boat today has got that on it. So, thank you, Vikings.
Oh yeah, I mean there were such great skills and craftsmen.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to log on to the. Here we are.
Who's that amazing, handsome man?
That's you. That is, Egil.
I know.
I just want to read your question.
All right.
Hopefully I got my sound off on my note. We don't want the double sound coming back.
I have to be careful because I usually wear glasses.
I mean, it's a very interesting subject.
Yeah.
That whole the migration period.
People people forget today that the sea wasn't a barrier. It was like a highway.
Ah, there we go.
It's like the Route 66 of the early medieval period.
Ah, so Stuart Smith,
Hi,
hello.
Stuart.
I said, great answer. Thank you so much. I don't want to interrupt your flow. I'm a subscriber. King of Vortigern is tied to the Arthurian lore, right?
It certainly is,
Yes. Are there any Saxon sources that discuss King Arthur?
Now, there is a source you can look up if it's Gildas's The Ruination of Britain. And he does mention, you can call him Arthur, I think he calls him Arturius.
Yes, he does actually, yeah.
And also the Mabinogion, the Welsh folktales mentioned Arthur. That's when I first heard of him, is in the Mabinogion, which are Welsh folktales. Confusing, hard read, but well worth the read. It has been suggested, and I'm not saying this is the case, but the Normans were looking for an English hero, and Arthur fitted the...
Yeah, well, you can see that to a degree.
I mean, later on we got the Song of Roland, which I have a copy.
Oh, yes.
Which was sort of like read out at every banquet in the Norman period. But, yeah, you could argue that the baddies in Arthur were the Saxons. We know there was a battle of Mount Baden, known as Mons Badonicus. We don't know...
No relation.
We don't know where it took place. We know it took place. There's even a poem about it. And we know the Saxons came second. So those are the earliest sources. There are rumours that they found the graves of a man with a head wound and a woman in a tree trunk, which was supposedly Arthur and Guinevere. Again, we haven't got any proof, because what proof there was destroyed. There was a lead cross, Henry VIII destroyed, because you can't have rivals. You're going to have
Of course not, no.
You're going to have some duke saying, I'm descended from King Arthur. Next thing you know, you got the war started.
Oh, yes.
But a very good question, and please, we'd love to hear more from you, and thanks for subscribing.
Yeah, we do have a weekly vlog. The last episode we did was the episode 7. So if you have any questions for the vlog as well, then please go and check the vlog series out. Today we recorded the vlog episode 8 of the weekly Viking vlog.
Which we never thought we'd get.
No, we've been having batteries issues today, my fault. So yes, well, thank you for that question.
Yeah.
That was
Give my love to Virginia. I'd love to go there.
We've just actually done another trailer review for the King Arthur movie from 2004. So that should be out either this week or next week. If I edit it for tomorrow, I might publish it tomorrow. Yeah, and they also, somewhere, last year I read an article and it was talking about King Arthur. And I've been trying to find it ever since, but it was a fascinating article which was just linking some of the archaeological evidence of where they think King Arthur was and who he was. So if I can find that, possibly, I will share it in a link in this video.
It's one of those things.
Fascinating, really.
Yeah,
it was.
We don't know for certain. It could have been a Romano-British chieftain, a Romano-British veteran who was left behind. And I think the short answer is we don't really know yet.
No.
I'm sure evidence will come to light. They found an inscription on a piece of slate. Cabri Castle, well, that was built...
Oh, we mentioned that before.
That was built in the 1200s, more as a folly.
Was it on the site of an older...
it was actually on the site of a Bronze Age trading site.
Oh.
But unfortunately, they built the castle and they have to put buttresses up because the walls try to fall into the sea.
That can happen.
Legend has it it's the home of Uta Pendragon, who Merlin changes into this chap who I've forgotten, and has sex with this woman, and Arthur pops out later on.
I've been to Tintagel all my time when I was a kid. That was an interesting place to visit.
Well,
very touristy though.
It's a good legend.
It is a good legend.
It's like Robin Hood.
Well, it's another legend that always, stays in the back of your mind.
They look on it as our sort of cowboy.
Well, yeah.
I mean, in America, you got Dog Holiday, White.
Now we have
Jesse
somebody else
James.
watching. Hello.
Hi.
The third viewer.
And you know what I mean? Arthur is our White Earp, if you like.
Yes, you can see that.
Yeah. So, nice one. And have we got another question? Is that it?
No, well, we'll just keep talking. No doubt somebody asks us a question in a minute.
Well, anyway,
you know.
we'll carry on with Arthur then. You see, one of the problems is with, I mean, everybody thinks of Mort Arthur by Mallory, which will be about 1500s. Merlin actually did exist.
Yes.
But it was 3,000 years before Arthur was born. There's rumour that he lived in Scotland and had a battle and had a pet pig.
Oh.
But he was
How strange.
severely traumatised by the battle and eventually came back. But he seemed to be incorporated into the Arthur myth and legend. I mean, it's like Little John we got round here, Hathersage. He's
He's meant to be buried around here.
well, it's Hathersage.
So they say.
Yeah. And he was supposed to be very tall. But I mean, if you ever get the chance to come across to England, and please do, you're always welcome. Glastonbury Tor actually was surrounded by water, and we think this was Avalon, and Avalon means Isle of Apples.
Yes.
I actually know a guy called Avalon.
No.
Not Frankie Avalon.
I know a band called the Avalon Boys.
Yeah.
I heard of one.
But you see, you know.
That's a very old word, though.
Yeah. They've stuck a monastery on top of it, which is bound to happen.
So what would the Vikings have thought of the King Arthur legend? Would they have heard of that legend?
I doubt if they'd even heard of it. They might think it's a good saga if they did hear it. I think they'd be more interested to find Excalibur and any treasure.
Well, I imagine so, yes. You know what the Vikings were like for liking a good sword and a good lot of silver and gold.
Well, that's what they came for. It was.
Well, of course so, yes.
All for the Yorkshire pudding. But it is a legend that will, I am sure, in 1,000 years will still be heard and will have evolved into something else. It's like rolling a snowball down a hill. As you tell it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, well, I like the way how in tradition we are keeping that legend going by talking about it, which is great, you know.
But
the next King Arthur movie we're going to review, and that will be the King Arthur, the Excalibur Rising. I'll read them in a second. Yeah. The Merlin character looks more like Gandalf. Anyway, Techno Sagas. Hello, Techno.
Hi, Techno. Nice to hear from you.
When they had a look at Little John's grave at Hathersage, they found a thigh bone 32 inches long. Yes, right. I remember that. That's a very long thigh bone.
Well, I mean, when you think today, that would be looked at as tall. I mean, the average height, and actually, fact, the average height of a Saxon was 5'8". We worked that one out.
Yeah.
I'm still a shorty. I'm only 5'6½".
So what was the average height of a Viking? Must be taller, surely.
Yeah. Well, it depends, because I mean, when we talk
you would have thought so.
The Battle of Hastings, Tustig was 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I bet he stood out over the crowd.
Yeah, well, he got killed at Stamford Bridge. That serves him right for being a traitor.
Yeah, well, he was a traitor.
And Harold Hadradi was.
I think I played him once.
Yeah. Who won?
Oh yeah.
But having said that, there were tall people, and there were people who lasted a long time. My hero, Egil Skallagrimson, was 90 when he died.
Well, that's a grand age, that is, in those days.
Well, that's 3 times as long.
Getting to my age, or 40-something, it would have been old in those days.
Well, I'd have been extremely old at 63, wouldn't I?
Well, you would have been, yes.
If I'd have lived that long.
Well, you would have been an older of the village. Everybody would have come to you with the problems. You would have loved that.
Lovely snowy hair. But yeah, nice one, Techno. I've never been to Hathersage, I have to be honest.
Well, we're going to go there one day.
It's on our doorstep. I mean,
we've got all these places we can possibly go and visit, and we will do. It's just a matter of trying to figure out my lifestyle and
yeah, well, I mean,
yours.
You've got, I mean, my lifestyle. You've got your dad to think
of. Yeah, well,
so
in time we will travel.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
Well, I mean, we've got nice stone circles. Several of those.
Yes.
We've got
burial mounds.
Burial mound. There's Hathersage.
The Viking graveyard. I know to get into that.
All right. Well, you can
somebody else watching.
All right.
Hello, number 4.
Who's number 4?
Well, they might leave a comment and say hello.
Yeah. Say hi to us. It gets a bit lonely in Bragi's bedroom.
And don't forget to thumb up this video or the live stream. And above all, go and share it. If you share the live stream with your friends, we'll have more people watching. And if we do suddenly disappear, it's because we've got a battery issue.
Someone's the Technos again.
Heavisage is a great place for bilberry picking.
Oh, now you're talking. Now you're mentioning food. I'm your man.
Well, yes, yeah, so I think we are going to do a video soon. So talking about cheese and bread in the Viking Age.
Don't be fooled by my Peter
And
Pan
we're probably
food.
going to eat some.
Yeah.
I don't know, it does feel rather strange and odd eating on camera. And I'm not sure what people would think about that. But anyway, that's another idea I had for a video.
So,
Because,
Techno, have you been to England?
Well, I think they're English.
Are they English? All
Yeah,
right.
they're from
Sorry,
England.
I'm still in Virginia, mentally.
They're admin, see, on our channel for us because of that. Because of the fantastic comments you leave us. So thank you, Techno. I always appreciate and love reading your comments.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I mean, comments are often what make the video. I mean, you know, we make the videos, we enjoy doing that, but when you get a lovely reaction and you get all these thumbs up, it really does.
Well, it makes
make
life
your
worthwhile. I mean, we've had a long day today.
We have
It's
had a
not
long
without
day.
its issues, but it's always nice to.
We didn't think we'll get online. I mean,
No.
we were meant to start at Livestream at 7 o'clock. Great GMT, GMT.
Well,
But it's meantime.
we'll sort it out. It'll get done.
This is a learning curve for us.
Especially for me.
So we did shoot some videos today. Just those watching, we did a video on the langseax versus the sax. I can't see your comment for all the stuff in the window. Throw that away.
I can't read it because I need glasses.
I can see it now.
What's it say?
No worries. Derby born, Derby bred, etc. Oh yeah.
Well, actually, I was born in Rochester, which is the south of the country.
Oh.
I like to call it the Perrier.
I know a song about Rochester, the recruiting sergeant of Rochester from the English Civil War. Very good song, that.
This is Rochester, England.
We not say Derby born and bred, strong in the arm and thick in the head.
Not in Rochester.
Hello, Stuart Smith. Thank you again. Very interesting. It is fascinating to see aspects of the Arthurian lore in older Germanic sagas like Sigmund putting the sword from the tree. Cheese and bread video would be awesome. Yeah, I think so too, because you got to think about food in the Dark Ages. Well, and probably in all reenactment, the most common food you'll have is cheese and bread.
And apples.
And apples.
Well,
you get the apples, I'll provide the cheese and bread.
Well, it's an interesting thing. I fasted on Monday and I shall be fasting tomorrow. But people didn't have the regular food supply that we're entitled. We're lucky to have.
We are so lucky.
Yeah. And so people, even with my belly, would be very, very rare.
I mean,
indeed.
if a Viking longboat of Vikings went to Tesco's or Sainsbury's, there'd be nothing left in half an hour.
And think of the points they'd get.
We have another comment from Techno Sagas.
Yo, Tecto.
Have you answered the Kentish man question?
Am I a man of Kent or a Kentish man?
Yes.
Depends which side of the river Thanet.
That's me. I'm not a southerner.
Well, I was told I was a Kentish man.
I'm Midlander, born and raised. Born and raised.
You don't even know what a river is.
That's a watery thing, isn't it?
I was born in Rochester, so that makes me apparently a Kentish man, not a man of Kent. Feel free to comment on that. It's a beautiful place. I've only been there twice. Once when I was born and once when I took a wrong turn going to Canterbury.
Well, perhaps one day we'll take you back home.
Yeah, well, leave me there.
You know it. I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah. But no, it is a pretty county, Kent.
It is. I love Kentish beer.
Yeah.
I think Kentish golden ale, some of the golden ales from Kent, are by far the most superior beer in the world. And that says a lot coming from near Burton.
Well, I had a late friend who lived in Canterbury. My grandpa lived in Canterbury as well, at the Lodge, St John's Lodge, next to Canterbury Cathedral. And the air was around this time of year. Oh, it was beautiful. You know, when people say air is like wine,
yeah,
it's just like that. And I'm sure places in America have got the same sort of thing as well.
But America has more countryside. You can disappear in America.
Yeah.
I do really enjoy watching some of the channels like Aqua Chigga from America. We have a comment from Techno Sagas. Cool. I thought that was an interesting Kentish thing.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to say to Techno, onion. One day you're gonna leave us an onion comment and you'll have the answer to that question. So there you go. You must get out your riddle book.
My extra riddle book.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm carrying about 5 books as it is, but yeah, okay. I hope there's a little...
Laughs out loud.
Yeah. Ah,
That'll
good
be
aim.
from the onion comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like onions. I don't mind
I
them
love
chopped up
them.
and small
Nah.
when I can't see or taste them.
Here's a nice Derbyshire thing for you.
Yeah,
Hard cheddar,
yeah.
raw onion cut in slices in a sandwich. Woof. You just have a pint of beer with that. That's the food of kings.
Oh, somebody else watching number 5. Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to this live stream.
Hello,
And if we do disappear any second now, it's because the battery's gone. But I don't think that'll happen for a bit.
who is it we're talking to? Have they left a comment?
Well, unless they leave a comment, we don't
Yeah.
actually see the names of who's watching.
Okay.
And I
Well,
can't do it through the channel.
It would be nice if you would, so that we can have
Oh,
a chit
yes.
chat before it gets too dark.
Well, yeah, well, not doing too bad so far.
Yeah.
This camera does actually work in a darker environment, far better than the original camera
Yeah.
we used to use.
And yeah, something's just Techno again, is it?
That is one of my favourite sarnies. Now, if you don't know what a sarnie is, that is just slang for
Sandwich.
sandwich.
Yeah.
But the question is it a cob or is it a bap?
Now,
Ah, there you
it
go.
depends what part of the country.
Controversial.
I once did a gig in Preston in Lancashire, and this gal with us asked for a cob. Well, a cob to them in Lancashire is a horse. It's a small horse.
Oh, yeah, a cob, yeah.
If you come to Derbyshire and ask for a cob,
It's
a
a bread
loaf.
roll.
It's about yay big, like a
Yeah.
cobblestone, hence the name cob.
I like a crusty cob with a bit of cheese grated in the middle.
And if you go to Rochester, of course, it's a roll.
The cheese is no good on top of the cob and just falls off.
It's just called a roll.
Yeah, well, I had this question on Twitter the other day. We do have a Twitter account, so please follow us on Twitter. And they asked the question: is it a roll? But they did not have cob down, and I thought that was disgusting.
It depends where you are in the country. People call things differently. If you go to certain parts, it's called a bap.
And I know some manufacturers of bread, like Birds, do make authentic breads for the period. So perhaps we'll all buy some bread and talk about bread in the video.
Or even better, make your own bread.
Yeah, Egil's always up for talking about
Right.
food in videos.
Yeah, I could do with eating soon. Actually.
Yeah, well, we will be getting you back home soon to eat.
Yeah.
No, we won't be live streaming this
So I'm
show
just
later in the
checking
day.
over there to see if anybody else will come in. Yeah, nice sandwich there, Techno. You're right. It's
One of my favourite sandwiches is crushed bacon, melted cheese and prawns. That's lovely.
I like prawn cocktail sandwiches. I
Yeah,
must
we're losing
admit.
somebody now. We're talking about sandwiches.
Oh, sorry.
We didn't have sandwiches back in the dark ages.
Well, we don't know. This is an interesting point. Perhaps somebody out there can tell us. What was a sandwich called before Gerald Lord Sandwich adopted the name? Yeah,
Lunch?
see?
No
I don't know,
idea.
because you think about it, it's the most natural thing to do.
Oh, yeah, everybody loves a bacon sandwich or a corned beef sandwich. But what do you call it before sandwich came around? Oh, back number 5 again.
Hi.
Hello. Perhaps
Hello.
you just lost your signal. That does happen.
Hey, what can I tell you?
I was holding his non-authentic
I
mouth.
don't know. Oh, he's rodent.
Yeah. They should really make a pouch somewhere you can put your mouse in.
Yeah, they didn't have those. in
Another
Ireland.
question. Cob refers to the size and shape.
Yeah.
You can have a cob walls, for example, made from handfuls of stuff pressed on wattles.
But also cobblestones, presumably because they're that size. I hope someone's just come up on there. Presumably they're same size as cobblestones. It's a Derbyshire thing, especially Derby.
Because I know
Yeah,
cobblestone from Minecraft, because I mine lots of cobblestone. You don't even know what Minecraft is, do you?
No,
Right, there you go.
but
The only thing about related to the Dark Ages, they do have a Viking themed world. I might think about doing a video and talk about it. I don't know.
I'm going to leave a question. Anybody can answer. This is a Derbyshire thing. What are soaky pobs?
Soaky Pobs. P-O-B-S.
Yeah, P-O-B-S.
Well, Pob was a character from a TV show, wasn't he?
No, it's a food, but that's as far as I'm going to tell.
No idea.
And next live stream, perhaps somebody could come out and say what it is.
Yes, or you can leave it in the comments after this when it's gone public.
Yeah.
And this is technically the 100th video on the channel when it goes live after this, or
Oh,
gets.
yeah.
I won't need to publish it. It'll be published already.
Oh, groovy gravy.
And when I drop you back home, I'll come back and make a thumbnail for it.
All right.
Try to get you in a nice picture pose. No, we won't get it.
That's when he has a go at me. Yeah.
I don't have a go at you.
Yeah.
I love you to bits. You make excellent content for the channel.
Oh, well, we'll see. Hang on now. We got anybody else?
No, we're
No.
just watching, listen, just carry on and rant on like we do.
But it's just a little bit of a question to see what
Somebody
pubs are.
new.
Ah.
Erwin Stein. Hello there.
Hi, Owen.
I just wanted to say that I've subscribed recently and love your content.
Thank you.
Very interesting stuff. Looking forward for the bread and cheese video.
Remember, I don't know if you caught it, Edwin, but
Erwin.
Sorry, Owen. What is Soaky Pobs?
I don't think they're probably around here.
Yeah.
We're all broadcasting to the whole entire world.
Yeah, it's a Derbyshire
One of
thing.
9.
There's a whole language in Derbyshire.
That's the county we come from.
Yeah. Well, if you listen to the goats and the trolls, the troll will speak in Derbyshire.
Well, I'd just like to say, Erwin, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Please leave us comments, and especially
Sure.
on the weekly Viking vlog,
Mm.
as we will read your comments out in the next episode, which
Yeah.
we record next Wednesday. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to making the cheese and bread video now.
Yeah, me and all. Just hope my teeth are up to it.
Well, yeah, well, hopefully you have a good week with your teeth.
Yeah, I doubt
We'll
it.
call you Egil Blacktooth soon.
Yeah, I've got a tooth that looks like a bit of tarmac in my mouth.
Well, like I said, we will make a video on dentistry, and
I'm
perhaps,
leaving my teeth well
perhaps we
alone.
can find a medieval surgeon ever, and we can interview him.
It was the dentist that caused all this. Seriously.
Well, I've got 2 less teeth because of dentist, so that's the way it goes.
See that one?
Yeah.
I pulled
Well,
that one out myself.
Well, yeah. I mean, it does make you think how you know, you're out in your longboat and you got a bad tooth. How would they dealt with it? You know.
Well, you pull it.
You know, you'd have to pull it.
You're going to have to see the blacksmith, and he'll have his tongs, or he might stick a red hot wire in it.
Well, it'd be the red hot wire. I can't speak now.
They'll have to get him very, that'll get me very drunk, sticking hot wires in it.
Well, that would be painful.
This is another thing.
Oh, I've got a thumbs up. Brilliant.
Even in my grandmother's period, pain. Today we have aspirin and things like
Oh,
that.
paracetamol.
But even as little as 100 years ago, pain was a fact of life. And my granny used to poo-poo anything that I had, saying, "Oh boy," you know.
Do you think they were tougher in those times?
I think
Did you have to be?
you accepted what more, whereas, you know, pain was a fact of life. Childbirth, you imagine the pain.
Yeah,
of
well,
that.
being men, we're not giving birth.
Well, just as well. All
I
right.
know, I'm going to go through that.
But,
And you have to admire women for doing so.
Like something like toothache, I discovered pain in your teeth lasts 3 days and then goes.
But, you know, for instance, you could get a sore throat or a virus, and that could do you in
Or
back
in,
in those days.
or in your Civil War reenactments when they're chopping limbs off.
Yeah, well, I do know how to chop a leg off. If you ever demonstrate that on camera,
You heard it here first. You
uh,
want your leg off? Come and see Bragi.
I do know how to do that. If you're going to take your arm off, for instance, the first thing you'll do is you'll cut round your skin there, and then you've got to peel the skin back. Now, once you peel the skin back, you can get in with your bone saw and saw off the bad arm, and then hopefully you'd have the flaps to put them back over to sew them back to cover the end up. It is a very brutal thing, and that would have been done without any antiseptic or anything like that, any kind of treatment to stop the pain. So let's have a look. Stuart Smith, they did get to drink beer all day, though. Yes, they did.
Yeah, it's
Or
beer.
mead.
Yeah, beer would be about 2%.
It'd be like a shandy.
Well, it's just enough to knock out all the bugs. They did have mead, and wine was expensive. Apparently, from what I've heard, the homemade wine wasn't up to much, but there was cider and perry,
Yes, we always forget about cider and perry.
and it's a lot stronger.
Whether it's
than
apple
the-
cider
yeah.
or of course, perry's made from
Yeah.
pears. But we do forget about that.
Well, perry is more like champagne
Yes.
and used for posh events like weddings, and cider. people forget how potent cider is. It's really strong
But it is
stuff.
strong. It makes you
Yeah.
pull funny faces, like, ooh, that's horrible. But you still carry on drinking it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a cider face, I call
some pubs in Devon and Cornwall will only sell you 2 pints a night maximum,
it. Yes.
and you go home giggling then.
Now, £2 is not a lot. I mean, I could have a good 8-9 pints on a good day.
Better man than me,
Still
mate.
stagger back home, and yes. But it would have been a good lifestyle, because you would have drank all day, and as a child, you would also be drinking beer, because the local water would have been fit enough, unless you was very lucky to have a very pure source. Especially if you lived in Derby or Northworthy during the Saxon times, or you lived in York, you would not want to be drinking the river water.
Or the milk.
No, you don't think. Yeah, you forget about the milk.
You'd make it into cheese, and I think that's probably how it came about. You have to heat the milk to make the cheese. So, you know.
That's a very good point, that.
But and of course, your only form of sweetness was honey. So, honey is also antibiotic.
It is, yes.
Though I think you'd have to be pretty high class to get honey on you, because you making mead and it's your form of sweetness. We got another one.
That's from Techno Sagas. My great granddad started drinking scrumpy when he was 12. Killed him eventually. Took 92 years though.
Yeah.
Yes, well, think about scrumpy, and that's to all our American friends. That's cider.
Well, it's cider with a bit more woof to it.
Well, one thing about cider, it's got arsenic in it.
Yeah,
So if you drink a lot of cider over your lifetime, you could fundamentally have arsenic poisoning.
Well, there was an interesting survey done about cider drinking. They noticed the men of Somerset were walking along with 2 walking sticks when they got to sort of my age, whereas the guys across the river weren't. And they found out that to sweeten the cider, they used to put sheets of lead in. And the lead eventually affects you, whereas across the river they preferred a more tart cider. So that's why they didn't get the trouble with the leg joints.
That's very interesting, that.
And even up until 1820, I believe, labourers at harvest time were paid in cider, and the farmers who made the best cider got the most labourers.
Well, you had these folding tables, don't you, which were typically used by cider farms, and they'll bring them out, unfold them, and then put the drinks on for the workers.
Well, you had the cider, but you also, the farmer's wife, poor girl, used to have to make sandwiches and cakes. It's a tea, harvest tea.
I mean, there must have been some fantastic orchards back in the day, and we're losing orchards left, right, and centre in England.
They are starting to replant some of them.
They should do.
Having said that, there's breeds of apple. I mean, we had something like 110 different types, some of which are lost. But there you go.
So Stuart Smith, as a brewer, I'm not good at my honours, I'm always encouraging people to brew cider, since it's so quick.
Yeah, nice one, Stuart. You're quite right. It's a good drink, and forget this bottled stuff. If you want to get some real good cider, follow Stuart Smith's idea and brew your own.
I know Stuart Smith on Facebook. You never know, could be the same one. Anyway, it does make you think about brewing and how they would have brewed.
But I mean,
how did you like that 40-year-old mead I had and gave you to try?
Yeah, it was okay. It was pretty good.
It's probably more of a liqueur now than a mead.
Yeah, that's what I thought at the time.
Did you feel like you're getting drunk out of it?
No, I could take mead, which is odd. A friend of mine, he gets what I call Douglas Bader. He could drink ale till it comes out his ears, but when he starts drinking mead, his legs go.
Yeah, well, mead can have that effect on you.
And yet yours truly.
And it is sort of a gift from the gods, you know. You go and harvest honey. If you're lucky, you're a beekeeper, so therefore back in the Anglo-Saxon time you would have had a number of hives, and those hives would have given you a poundage of honey each year, and you know that would have made marvellous stuff.
Well, there's also an ancient Irish law. If, say, you sold your land and there was a hive on it and I bought it, you'd have a third of the honey, the king would have a third of the honey, and I would have a third of the honey for 10 years.
And of course you've got royal jelly comes from one here
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. This is wonderful stuff. You know what royal jelly is, don't you?
I know of it. I've
Yeah.
never had it.
No,
but
I've had it before.
I've had honeycomb. That's nice.
Honeycomb's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, they knew how to eat in those days, and it's like us. You get the best of what you've got with what you've got.
Of course, if you like brewing beer, Stuart Smith, then we live very close to a town called Burton-on-Trent, which is said to be the world's capital of beer brewing.
It's also a horrible place.
Well, not an old place, it's a nice
I
place
worked
if
at
you go to the
Boots
right
there.
places.
Yeah. Well, I worked at Boots, which was an experience.
And if you ever go and visit Burton, I highly recommend the Bridge Inn. By far some of the best beer I've had in my life. It's
They've got a
wonderful.
very nice town hall and library, Victorian. It's pretty impressive. It's only a very small place though, isn't it, really?
So we've got a comment here from Techno Sagas. No names, no pap drill, but the most interesting mead I ever had was brewed from hemp.
Ah, right.
Blimey. Yes, I could imagine. Oh, we've got number 5 watching again.
Hi.
5 people watching.
I don't imbibe with hemp, I must admit.
Well, you don't imbibe with that. Not everybody does.
No, because it makes me violent.
It's great for clothing.
Yeah, and rope.
I can imagine hemp mead will be quite powerful.
I've heard of phlegaric mead.
Yes, well that can be very dangerous if not managed properly.
Got to know what's what, but we're certainly not advocating any of this.
And because Burton-on-Trent is such a well-known place for beer and beer brewing, they have a saying there, and the saying is "hug beer" in Burton. And
well, it's the water apparently that's supposed to be. So
this is
good.
why if you go to the Bridge Inn, they use the original Burton Brewery Woe, and that water is so pure, and it's just mouth-watering. And they also make nice oat cakes there.
I have to say, I'm not actually a beer drinker. I like brandy and wine.
Well, you got some nice brandy at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, I've always got some nice brandy. But beer, I drink Guinness Stout, but I can only take 2 pints of
But
that.
it makes
now.
you think, how far does brewing spirits go back?
Oh, well,
you
I
wouldn't
mean,
call it mead a spirit, would you?
No, they made aquavita in Ireland. Ooh,
Not had that.
back. It's whiskey.
Yeah.
But I believe it's the Irish. If I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. Maybe one of you guys could tell us. I don't know.
I think we're doing well so far. To not have the battery go on us. So brilliant. Touch wood quick. Touching his big war chest. Full of swords at the moment.
Ooh, matron.
And axes.
Yeah.
And scrams. Langseaxes.
Sausages.
No, there's no sausages in there. You don't keep your sausages in a war chest.
Well, you do. If
You
go
probably
on-
hang them up off the rafters of your beams.
If you're in camp, hang on.
I think that bottled Bass beers feature in Lautrec's paintings of the Morning Rouge.
Moulin Rouge. Yes, you're quite right
Yes.
there. It's on the bar. There's the red triangle, which is a Bass.
Because the Russians, they imported a lot of Bass beer in the 19th century.
The Russians.
They loved it.
Yeah, I mean,
But then again, Bass beer went all over the world.
well, not only that. I mean, my ex lady, her dad had wine from the Kremlin because they sold it off.
Yeah.
My God, no wonder they were babbling around and having fun. It's really good stuff. I don't know, haven't seen any more lately. But yeah, Bass is featured in I think it's Lautrec and the Moulin Rouge.
The trick.
But if you've got a good product, it goes everywhere. It's like Jack Daniels is a good brew, you know, and you see that around.
Yeah, I've been to his house and sat in his rocking chair, Jack Daniels,
Right.
in Tennessee.
Tennessee sipping.
Yeah, it's actually a dry county, Lynchburg County, so you're not allowed to legally drink there. Although I do believe now they have a license to drink on the premises of Jack Daniels, but I could be wrong. But that's another subject.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with Dark Ages.
But yeah, as I say, beer has gone back. I think the earliest beer we hear of is in ancient Egypt. And of course, let's not forget African tribes brew a beer, a form of beer. And yeah, it seems to be man's first priority.
Well, I think we planted crops and then from the crops we made ale.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's progress for you in a way.
I think that's a very civilised way to carry on. Have we got any more comments at
No,
all?
no more comments at the moment. We'll just keep talking like we do. I mean, I can always carry on talking forever, you know, because I'm
I'd
pretty used to
noticed,
this.
yeah.
And perhaps I talk too much.
I'm saying nothing as I don't want to have to walk home.
Yeah, you're walking home.
Yeah. Boo-hoo. But, yeah, as I say, the battery seems to be holding
Yeah,
up.
so far the battery's holding up. I mean, we'll end this soon because Egil does want to go back home
Yeah,
and get changed and also have his dinner. Which will
Yeah,
probably be a cheese cob. I mentioned cobs and cheese.
it would be. A, I haven't got any cobs, and B,
Oh,
I
dear.
haven't got any cheese.
You can have a brown cob, take it home with you.
Oh, bless. I've got some mince waiting for me.
Oh, you like mince, don't you?
No, it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's actually, I've tested it. It comes from another supermarket. So are we allowed to mention Aldi?
We can mention Aldi, yeah.
Aldi. I usually get it from
As long as you
Farm
mention
Foods.
Iceland, to be fair to the Vikings.
Iceland's
I
cheap.
like Iceland, some of the food's alright.
You get a nice gelato from there. Well worth it, mate.
It's what everybody wanted to listen to, talking about shopping in the modern world during the Viking age.
It's called
Live
It's
stream.
called wasted time till somebody gives us another comment. But well, I mean, ice cream, that's Roman. That goes back to Rome.
Well, yeah, you definitely, when you think about ice cream being Roman,
Well,
they certainly didn't bring it over them, did they? Leave it here.
oh, it melt, wouldn't it? Ah.
Well, it would do, yeah.
But I don't
So
know.
were the Romans the first people to use ice then?
As far as well,
Production.
I say yeah. I don't know. I'm assuming they did. I mean,
I mean, we often think of ice houses from the, you know, the
18th.
19th century, 18th
well,
century.
we've got one at Chatsworth, haven't we?
There's one locally up
Yeah.
here up the hall, buried
I
underground.
think they were pretty grubby stuff because they put
I tell you,
straw on it.
one thing you do get from an ice house is a really, really good echo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're ever going to do any medieval chanting, that's the place to go and do it.
Shows you what kind of lives we lead, don't we?
We leave lives of a Viking.
Or singing in
Or
a nice
Saxon.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just going back to another period of history I was
We've got another
reenacting.
comment.
It's interesting that in the Kazvazir law,
Kavazir,
Kavazir, yeah, that the gods spit into. So I need to wear my glasses. Spit to create him. Spit is often used in fermentation, like the Chica and the Masato.
Yeah.
Alludes to an older fermentation method among the North, where you have this alcohol they ferment in the mouth. The ladies do, and then they spit it out in a bowl and you drink
In
that.
South America.
Yeah,
they
South
do it,
America.
Yeah.
Would you drink that? Would you try it?
Don't know, I'd have to
I think
look
it'd be
at it.
rude if you're going to the tribe and
It's
not to have
what
a
you
go.
brought up. If you're brought up in that kind of culture where that happens, you wouldn't think anything of it. They'd probably think, ugh, some of the
That's
things
a
we
good
do.
thing from Techno. I may be wrong, but I believe there is an etiquette for eating bread and cheese. It's the way you hold it, I think. Now, the Saxons used to have the bread, and they used to have the bread here, and then hold the bread, and then they have the cheese in this two fingers. So with your knife, you'll slice your cheese, eat your cheese, and bite your bread, and you repeat the process. And we often think of back to about 15%, so we are going to go in a minute. We often think about using knife and forks in eating, but you know, we've had hands for a lot longer time, and it's a very interesting way of eating. Rather than just pick it up, you slice, eat, and bite. So
Well,
yeah, it's a very interesting point. That
Modern etiquette is if you've got a wedge of cheese, you cut the slice like that. You
Yeah.
don't cut the nose off because that means everybody gets the same amount. And there's that.
yeah, we'll cover that in the video we're
Yeah.
going to do about bread and cheese and eating during the Dark Ages. So yeah, so thank you very much. Now we are getting very close to running out of battery in a minute, so we're probably going to end this in a couple more minutes. So just bear with us. We're going to finish this off, and then I can get Egil back home, so you can have your dinner.
It's not the be all and end
And I
all.
can spend all night editing videos
Yeah, well,
until the early hours of the morning.
got to keep you employed in some
In
form.
some method, yes.
But can I just say to everybody who's listened in, thank you very much and left a comment. It's always nice to have a comment. And I hope we could keep in contact. And thank you very much once again.
Excited for the bread and cheese video. This is from Stuart Smith.
Hi, Stuart.
Thank you so much. Have a great night. Well, thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Stuart.
And the same to all of you. I hope you all have a great night And,
Oh yes, wherever you may be,
Yeah.
have a good night.
and tune in again, and we can carry on talking. Hopefully with more battery life.
Yeah, it's been a great day. We've had 100 videos on the channel. We've just done our 600 treat, and we also just had 8,000 views. So overall, it's been fantastic, and it's fantastic to hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
You know, live streaming is definitely the way forward
Yeah.
to go. We're not yet sorted when we're going to live stream at the week on a regular basis, but within time that will happen.
Okay. Until you all, good
Yes,
night.
and a good night,
And
Erwin Stein, and thank
all
you
of you.
for
Yeah.
subscribing to the channel.
okay.
And don't forget, you can check out the playlist up here of other live streams we've previously done. So from me, Bragi, your Viking host, poet and warrior, it is goodbye.
And from Egil, a warrior, merchant, trader, storyteller, and runecaster. Good night.
Good
Have
night.
a good one.